Hello? Tell me that it didn't work. I'm gonna hate if. Hello? That worked. Why did that work? Okay. I did it, dummy. Okay, we're gonna do this now. Okay, we're doing this. We're gonna be.
Stargate had the budget. They didn't really script.
Yeah, Stargate had a really. I don't know. Oh, context. I don't know much about prosthetics. I know the stuff from Captain Marvel. You know you can hear the guy talking through his prosthetics, and mouth doesn't move too much. What I'm about to say more about puppets, but I prefer CGI Yoda over puppet Yoda. I think it just looks better, especially when it's interacting with more people. It probably which at the same conclusion that they came to in the prequels. Not not all that Jedi though. Maybe it works better when it's interacting with less people.
And stuff. So there's no blood blisters on my nose or Patrick's on this. Sure. I mean, I can't believe it because people don't understand. Like, it's so, like, one time my ear, I was doing a prosthetic makeup gig for Babylon 5, Legend of the Rangers. And was it my ear? No. Something got
Babylon 5, it's a good show. You should watch
bent
it.
down. And also this other woman, the way we put on these cowls, her ear got flipped down like this. And mine did too a little bit one day. And it's unbelievably how painful that stuff gets. And I'm like, listen, man, I don't care what you got to do. Cut it open, flip that ear up, do something, because this is killing me. Because you can't act. It's so painful. It sounds stupid, like me, you're being a baby. Absolutely not. And I'll find the pictures here. Like Patrick, I did a show where they were saving on money, and it was for a favor, right, for Todd, and they used a skull cap on me for this gear. Well, it created these enormous welt.
I do know. I do know that. Like Jim Carrey talked about going through. You know, he had to go through CGI. Through CIA torture training to do the Grinch suit because it was just that awful every day. I can't imagine. I imagine a blister would just make it that much worse. You know? Oh, that'd be awful.
On my head because it was not made for my head, and I had they were about that tall, and that wasn't fine. I had a week off between shooting because after they formed up, then they blistered, and it looked like I had some alien disease, and then they popped and drained and scarred, and it was. But see, that's just it. Either prosthetics can be no problem or they're hell, and if you scrimp and try to save money, they become hell.
And the actor,
I mean, if I want to be an actor one day, but yeah, if you're putting stuff on my face for a movie, make it the best stuff. You know, I don't want you to cheap out. You know, I don't know what that can do to my skin, or like what you said, blisters everywhere. I want the best stuff. I'll take a pay cut if it's needed.
actor can be a problem too because you're young and you think you're helping. If you go like, it's a little tight, but it's fine. It's not going to be fine.
No.
They need to know exactly what is happening, and when they ask if you're comfortable, they mean like, are you as comfortable as you would be with nothing on your face or nothing on your?
Because you're gonna be living in that thing for a year, like years maybe.
And you have to be honest, or they can't do their work properly. So, yeah, you learn a lot.
I had no idea that it was ever considered anywhere to be.
What? He does have a really good background. Oh, he had new stuff. Or that wasn't there before. The J.J. Abrams Enterprise. Yeah, that's the only Star Trek thing. That's the only other franchise up there, I believe. Yes.
Proper for you to use someone else's measurements for them to use someone else's measurements of prosthetics for someone else.
It's not, and I think this is a story I had heard after I had done Outer Limits a few years later, and when I was considering not doing Stargate.
Yeah.
And someone had said to me in explanation, like, that was a problem with.
My dream would be to be on Stargate, the new one. That would be my dream job. That's very unlikely. Although casting hasn't opened yet.
That particular episode and the crew, and it was like a very personal thing happening behind the scenes, and we just weren't informed what was happening, and it wasn't explained to me afterwards that. Well, I knew afterwards because I was never fitted for the piece, right? So I thought it was normal. They're like, "This, we're gonna put this on you. You're about the same size. It's not like a tight sweater. It's very different."
No.
So,
and they brought me in after I healed up. They brought me in and recast and did my head and made the proper thing, and it was never a problem after that. But even a couple millimeters too small, and you think about that, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're there all day and this is pushing, it got to be so bad for me. I felt like nauseous all day. I couldn't eat anything. I just felt like throwing up. And the second they took it off, it was like just relief, like unbelievable relief, But again, never happened on Stargate. They were awesome, but this other show, it was just an accident too. I mean, I volunteered it. I said, yeah, I think this will work. It doesn't feel so bad. No. I had never had an experience like that before, so I thought I could take it. Absolutely not.
That's some really good advice. I watch a bunch of interviews with actors and stuff. And that's some really good advice. At least the stuff that I've seen, really ever hear, like when the makeup department tells you, does this feel good? Is it too tight? Is it tight at all? Tell them if it's tight at all. Be pedantic, because you're gonna be suffering later, basically.
If there was such a thing as torture, honestly, that was probably torture.
Wow.
Yeah, and the makeup people on Outer Limits, I'm sure, had said to me, "Is this comfortable? Are you okay with this?" And I was saying, "Yes, I am."
I guess Jim Carrey, when he did the Grinch, maybe there was just no way around it being uncomfortable, because the way he described it, it's like being sealed inside some type of coffin. Yeah, he's wearing a full body suit. You don't see any skin of Jim Carrey. So I imagine that he said it would suffocate it. And I can imagine.
Because it did feel comfortable.
Yeah, but you have no point of reference. It's comfortable at the moment. Like, I can deal with whatever I'm feeling, but you have no point of reference.
Yeah, it would be like putting a clothespin on your nose for 10 hours. That's kind of what it ended up being.
Wow.
But again, the makeup people are incredible. On every experience after that has just been incredible, and they're such pros. There's so many little things that can go wrong, and they deal with all of them impeccably.
The only thing that I can
I'm going to show you this. See if you can see this. Hang on. So this is the after effect of what had happened. Look.
I'm assuming that's your forehead.
That's my forehead.
Okay.
And see what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's after the welts. That's after the welts went down. You see me there. There I am. Yeah. It was just ugly. Like, and that's
Imagine-
a week or 4 days after this. Look at this. So that was me.
Imagine having to deal with that for. I wonder if that was after filming or if he had to put the makeup on top of that. On top of that,
Coming off
that would
set
just
the
been
first night.
unbearable.
Look at that.
Ow.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it's like you're auditioning
Oh
for
my God.
Metamorphosis already.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? It was hell. Like it was. Oh yeah, look at this one. You'll love this one. Look at this one on the side of my head. Look at that.
Oh my. Wow, your body is reacting.
And that took a week.
That took a week to come down. I think it was like 3 or 4 days that it turned into those blisters, and then they popped and drained, and it was just disgusting. And then about a week later, they went and did my full on, thing. Oh yeah, here, look at the next day.
I don't know if I can take much more.
I know.
I don't know if you can see this. Look at that.
Wow.
That's the size of a golf ball. That.
Well, if you needed some some proof on why prosthetics are no joke, there you go.
That thing there.
Ow.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was about a golf ball into height and about, I don't know, 1.5 centimeters off my skull.
Because it's glued down onto you and it's immobile.
Well, this one was a helmet. This was a fiberglass helmet that held a rigging because I had 2 eyes on the top of my head that went around like this. But yeah, and then look at here's me getting, about a week later, they did the cast on my head so I could have a proper gear.
A custom casted Alex is a happy Alex.
That's right. But I did it so I could, help my friends save some cash. I thought, hey, it's no problem. But I'd never experienced, like Patrick, I don't know, I'd never experienced anything like that because all the makeup before had been made for me. So I thought, well, it should be fine. No. And it wasn't makeup. It was a fiberglass helmet supporting the rig for this thing. And my God, it was painful. But check this out. So here's me getting the life cast done. There you go.
Jeez.
So Patrick can
Let's look at that again.
Here's me getting the life cast
imagine
done.
Wait, there we go. Imagine just being encased. That little hole is where you breathe out of. Imagine, like you couldn't do that if you have claustrophobia, right? Like just for like a couple hours, you're just sealed inside something like that, and you barely hear stuff. Probably can't see. You can probably breathe well, but it's uncomfortable. Jeez.
There you go.
So Patrick, can you relate to that specific experience, the live cast?
No, I've had the head cast. I haven't had the whole body cast.
Okay.
The head cast was a nightmare because I'm.
Oh yeah. So that was a head cast, not a life cast. You're right.
Can you tell us?
claustrophobic.
Okay, as a claustrophobic person, please share your hell in going through the head cast. Oh wow, look at that. That's
what it was supporting was those eyeballs.
Wow.
I wonder. Whenever I see stuff like this, I'm like, how do you see out? What kind of magic do they do to have you see out of that?
Wow. The only thing I recognize is your tongue. Jeez.
There you go.
All right, Patrick, what was your experience like through the head casting? Can you walk us through the process?
Yeah, if it hadn't been Todd's team, I don't know if I would have survived it.
Todd Masters, man.
They were so amazing. They explained everything that's going to happen. It's going to go on your head, and it's going to get really cool, and then all of a sudden it's just going to go like hard, like instantaneous. It heats up, then it goes cool, I think, and then it just hardens instant. It's fast. And they answered all my questions, like, well, what do we do if the fire alarm goes off? Like, do you guys run or do you take me out first? Like, what happens?
Right, there's got to be a procedure in place.
And then the assistant was like, my hand's going to be right here, 2 inches from yours. And if you need to grab it at any point, go ahead. You might need to know that someone's still here because your body's going to start feeling like you're isolated and alone and trapped. And yeah, that's pretty much how it felt. But as soon as it hardens, it's off right away. And you're breathing through a straw. And it's very fast, and it's. I wouldn't tell anyone.
I thought it would take longer. Apparently, very fast.
to do it. I mean, it's
Mhm.
insignificant once you've done it once, but I think my claustrophobia made me paranoid at first. Yeah, but it was good.
You don't have to worry about that anymore because now they've got this laser scan handheld thing, and they scanned my face for Final Destination, and all I did was lie there, and they just went with this thing like tick 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 flashing light above my face, and it looks more realistic than anything I've ever seen before.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
That's
laser
good to know.
scan of your face. No more alginate, nothing. No, so anybody
Well-
who's a claustrophobic or not won't be affected.
Oh,
I almost feel bad for all the people who have gone through that process before, who now, this is, I guess, the technology is going to continue to improve and you can certainly get more accuracy with that because now it's a digital file. I'm curious though, when you have this mold taken of your face, I would want it to be in my contract that I get to keep it because it's of me. And especially if it's a digital file of you, Alex.
yeah, I feel the same way. At least, put it on my dresser or something. That might be cool.
They can take
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah,
that's you. I'm curious. Did you guys
I know.
get the molds? Or is it just
Welcome.
like, no, because they can
Well-
continue to use it. That was the whole thing with Crispin Glover, supposedly, and Back to the Future Part 2. What are you guys, Patrick? What is your thought on that?
I don't know. It's such a big issue. I have no idea. In terms of the show, I didn't ask for it, and you wouldn't have gotten it anyway because I think that's Todd's work, right? So he's
That's
not
fair.
It never even crossed my mind. But what you're talking about now with the digital scan of your head, then just being used anywhere they like. Yeah, it's scary.
Exactly. Alex, I'm curious.
Well, so Todd, we've been friends for years,
Yeah.
and like 15 years ago at least, he said, "Hey, do you mind if we use your head as the shop head, like your mold of your head, so we can just mount? It's like a generic head, you mount stuff on to work on." And I said, "No problem." So it was really funny because I'd go into his shop from time to time, and of course, there's like 27 of me on the walls. It's kind of weird.
I wonder what that's like. You walk into a room and it just like 30 of you staring back at you. That might be like surreal or creepy.
And now he's got not a museum per se, but I guess it's like an interactive come and view all our stuff. It's like
an exhibit.
Yeah. So, and I laugh because a lot of the masks are mounted. That's my head. I can tell. That's my head right there. So yeah, I gave him permission for that. But yeah, the crappy thing about the scans and stuff is that they have it now, and what's to stop them from doing anything that they want? Like with all the people cloning the voices and cloning faces and all the virtual AI and stuff, or whatever AI today. Yeah, we're crossing a lot of like.
I mean, I don't know. The voice AI stuff. I don't think it might eventually sound better than real actors, but like I hear Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and a couple Star Wars Outlaws, and no, that was not AI. The one in the Kenobi show is, and I'm like, it sounds like James Earl Jones, but it doesn't at the same time. It just doesn't sound good. I think for now actors are still better because they can emote. You actually feel more. You feel the emotion in their voices when AI can't really do that yet, or very well at least.
Dirty ground, as it were. So,
And quickly.
I got to show you another picture real quick here. Check this out. Talk about when this happens when people cheap out on stuff. Now, there's Dan Payne, good friend, Dan. Now, we were doing the show together. Now, you notice the headrest here?
Yes.
And these wooden blocks. You see those wooden blocks there? Okay.
Mhm.
So on this show, they were trying to save money. And I say put it in quotes because you never save money when you try to save money. It always costs you more in the end. So they didn't provide us with makeup chairs with headrests. And every day we were doing 4 hours of makeup, people prodding on your head. So you had to push forward. You couldn't rest your head. So by the time you did 4 hours of makeup, went to set, your neck is just killing you because, you know, and I wore this entire rig where it was up here and 10 pounds of stuff here. So I'd be like, no. And I said, enough of this crap. And they wouldn't pay for the chairs. I said, okay, fine. So I went out, got some blocks of wood, went out to a auto wreckers. I bought headrests from wrecked cars and I drilled holes in the wood and we came in with tape and just taped it to the chair.
That's pretty smart, but it's also unacceptable. You know, your actors should be comfortable. You know, if you're gonna have me sitting 4 hours in a chair, you know, pushing back against you as you put makeup on me, I better be able to rest because that just sounds insane. No, like I would at that point I'd be like, I'll be right back. I'm not dealing with blocks of wood. I'm going out and getting a chair that has a rest on it. You can keep that chair. It's yours now. Or I could keep it and bring it just with me. You know?
And we put the blocks up, whatever.
And they held.
They were all, oh, well, you know, whatever. And I'm sorry, but I just blasted them. I said, listen, this is the minimum that's required.
Yeah.
The minimum. You know, and I think after this, they went out and got real chairs after a week of using these. But you know what I mean? It's just, that's the problem when people cheap out and they think, oh yeah, okay, I'm saving $60 a day on a chair. You have no idea how that translates into your actor's performance because if you've saved $60 and my entire back is seized up because I've been holding my head up for 4 hours in a makeup chair.
Exactly. You're saving money but sacrificing that performance with potentially cost you money on the back end because you know you may get less viewers because like, oh, that actor, you know, I don't believe what he's doing, you know, or he looks stiff. I don't like, or you know, somebody may say the acting is worse because of the stuff they had to go to because they just couldn't physically, you know, do what they need to do as much as they would have been able to if, you know, they had the proper chair and they were, you know, rested. And that's,
since 3:30 in the morning. Good on you. I'm giving you the worst performance I can that day because I have no choice. I'm in so much pain.
Check out Down of the Gate and like, subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Actually, let's watch another. I want to watch this other video.
Given the 17-season franchise that it launched, Children of the Gods just may be one of the most significant pieces of sci-fi television in a generation. Brad Wright and Jonathan, the most significant pieces of sci-fi that it launched, Children of the Gods just may be one of the most significant pieces of sci-fi television in a generation. Brad Wright and Jonathan Glassner's interstellar adventure picks up where Stargate's 1994 feature film left off.
Yeah, that is the cool thing about it is that if you haven't watched the original movie, you don't have to watch the original movie to watch the show. You can pick up clues on what happened, and they talk about what happened in the movie, in the show. And you know, it's all the same characters, just different actors, but they're playing the same characters, and what happened in the movie happened in the show, except that the gold are much different in the movie than in the show. And you just kind of
uniting Jack O'Neill and Daniel Jackson and opening up a universe of ongoing adventures for the small screen. Now Gateworld has obtained the original first draft of the Stargate SG-1 pilot script, and while it largely reflects the final episode that we saw premiere on July 27, 1997, there are some notable changes from script to screen. That includes changes to major characters' names, entire scenes that were cut or pared down, and an alternate ending that never saw the light of day. In this video, we're talking about 9 big changes from the original script. And just in case 9 isn't enough, well, stick around till the end for 11 more. This draft of the script is dated October 18th, 1996, placing it around 4 months before principal photography began on the series. Children of the Gods is an
they were changing stuff almost up until filming.
Ambitious 90-minute cable production, but it's not without its flaws. The show would elaborate upon its complex mythology and feel out its characters' voices over the course of 10 years and more than 200 hours. Series co-creator Jonathan Glassner left the show after 3 seasons, and years later...
The really cool thing is, as you go throughout the show, you can tell the actors get more comfortable with their characters. Initially, Michael Shanks was doing a impression of the actor from the movie, but eventually, he was doing a more impression of the actor from the movie. I just said that. But eventually he moved into doing his own thing, and that's not that Michael Shanks acting before was terrible, but I think he made the characters his own. And I forget, I'm not good with actors, but I'm Christopher Judge, Teal'c. He was in the movie, obviously, but you can definitely feel that he gets more comfortable with the characters and the fact that he's written a fair few of the episodes in the show. I believe all the actors have written a fair few episodes of the show.
Later, Brad Wright would come back to the pilot episode. Along with editor Brad Rines, he updated the SG-1 pilot into the now definitive edition, 2009's Children of the Gods Final Cut. But what changed between the autumn of 1996, when the script was written, and the start of filming in early 1997 might surprise you. Number 1. Apophis wasn't Apophis. The show's writers knew from the beginning that they wanted to use the movie villain Ra's race as a primary antagonist for the new series. We learn in the pilot that Ra was not in fact the last of his kind. Other Goa'uld took humans as hosts as well, and they control multiple planets with human slaves. The first, and arguably greatest, Goa'uld system lord the team encountered was Apophis, played by Peter Williams. It was a logical choice. Planets with human slaves. The first, and arguably greatest, Goa'uld system lord the team encountered was Apophis, played by Peter...
I can agree with that.
Williams. It was a logical choice to kick off the television series, since in ancient Egyptian mythology, Apophis serves as a counterpoint to Ra. Ra was the sun god, whose light was said to bring order.
I don't remember much of it, but the show teaches you a fair bit about Egyptian mythology.
Apophis was the god of chaos, who ruled the night.
And a little bit about Norse mythology.
In the first draft of the script, though, Wright and Glassner opted for one of Apophis' other names from ancient mythology, Apep. From the first draft screenplay, his head is covered by a glistening gold helmet in the form of a snake's head, with red jewels as eyes. The way the others shield him, he's obviously their leader. We will come to know this creature.
Those big snake heads. I always wondered if they're heavy. They look heavy. And they use them a lot in the beginning of the show, but I'm not entirely sure of this. But I would imagine Like eventually, it became a real hassle using them because they, as you get further in the show, they use them a lot less. You only use them for special occasions, if they need to sneak somewhere or stuff like that. But other than that, they don't really use them a lot, other than important later in the show, other than important events.
As Uphep, the serpent god. When his guards are shot down in front of him, their larval Goa'uld symbiotes leap out of the Jaffa pouches and into Uphep's arms, where he cradles them like a parent holding his children. Number 2, opening the Stargate.
Yeah, that's a big change because that would have changed the personality of the Goa'uld too, because they're very egotistical, very high on themselves. They see themselves as superior to all life, basically. And that would have changed their personality because you could see that because they don't particularly care for one another. If they can kill them, they can kill another one and get their stuff, they will.
Long-standing piece missing from the episode's opening sequence, in which Apophis himself comes to Earth, is just how he redialed the Stargate to leave. The original episode shows that the gate is off behind him, and then in the next scene, he simply walks back through an open Stargate. Did Apophis stand around while his Jaffa slowly dialed the gate manually? The final cut added some sound effects to at least indicate that the gate was redialed.
I never noticed that.
But in the original script, Apep himself is seen to have the power to control the gate at will. He uses his hand device to open the Stargate, both on Earth and again later on Abydos. Apep turns to the gate and
which is something they would recycle for the Asgard, because the Asgard can just do that with the gates. They probably scrapped that idea and used it for the Asgard. They probably made probably for writing purposes, made it so that the gold just can't go anywhere at any time.
Points with his jeweled hand wrap. A thin line of energy shoots from it into a small hole on the top of the gate. Then, whoosh, the Stargate reopens. Number 3. Carter wasn't Carter. In the weeks between a script being written and the start of filming, production offices will work through the process of legal clearance for all character names. That line in the credits of a movie or a TV show that says, any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. That's what this is about. If there's a person with the same name and enough background similarities, the script has to be changed. In the case of Stargate SG-1, that evidently happened with one of the show's main characters. Either that or the powers that be just decided they liked the name Carter better.
Oh.
When she's first introduced to Jack O'Neill and the others in the briefing room,
I do have to go. I'll finish the video later. Okay. Like, subscribe, and comment.